There it
On
is.
this episode of Screen Geeks, we're going to talk about all the details from today's Ghostbusters Day. Happy Ghostbusters Day, everybody! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Screen Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, on this adventure of Screen Geekery, a live stream where we talk about things on screens, is Ralph. Ralph, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, aka not John.
AKA not John, yes. Since this is Ghostbusters Day, a celebration of the movie, the release day of the first Ghostbusters movie way back in 1984. For the past few years, Sony Pictures has done a lot of fun events and festivities related to the release day of Ghostbusters. So it is a national holiday for us ghost heads, us Ghostbuster fans. And I felt like, we had to do something. We had to do something, hang out with other Ghostbuster fans tonight and talk about, some of the fun stuff that was revealed. Some new toys were revealed. Some new details of the movie were revealed. We'll talk about those as well. And then Ralph and I will share some of our favorite Ghostbusters memories. Take a trip down memory lane. Maybe some of, I want to also maybe go through what are some of our favorite lines from the movie that aren't the lines that everybody quotes all the time from the Ghostbusters movies. Like what would you call that? Would that be cult classic lines that nobody
I don't know. Underdog.
To recommend one, there they are.
Oh, it's like one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
Me and my friends, when anytime like if we're at the movies and some people go get popcorn and come in, and they'll be like, there they are. When they come in.
That line. And you see the little fingers crackle over the edge.
Yeah, that lady definitely sees the Ghostbusters before anybody else does.
Maybe she had a different vantage point, and she was able to say, there they are. You couldn't really see them yet. But yes, we are here on Ghostbusters Day. Happy Ghostbusters Day. Hey, listen, Alexis, there's always room for Jell-O. But a lot of people here in the chat already. I think Joseph was here even earlier today. He was hoping a trailer would drop. I was hoping a trailer would drop as well, almost expecting a trailer to drop. And 9:10 Eastern, we still have not gotten, maybe 9:06 Eastern, we have not gotten a trailer yet. But if it happens while we're playing this live, we'll pull it up because I want to see it. I want more footage. I need more clips.
Yeah. Live first time reaction.
Yeah, that's right. It would be as live as it gets. Lolo Pap is here. Fish Tropic, VMM. Happy Ghostbusters Day. Michael Gervais. And let's see. Josh is here. Scat D. Where's Jay? I'm right here. Colleen is here. Let's see. I think I already said Alexis. Lenny. You have saved the lives of millions of registered voters. Justin is here. All right. Yeah, Riley Bob is also in the house. So, what do you want to dip into first, Ralph? You want to do like maybe the merch stuff unveiled today first, and then go into some of the images and stuff and the little.
Let's do that.
Suck in the guts, guys. We are the Ghostbusters. They kind of talked about that line today during the Twitter Spaces event. Did anybody else, were they kind of bummed it was audio only today? I was kind of hoping it would be like a video Zoom kind of thing, and was kind of thrown off when it was just audio. It was a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But, Mindless Focus, new person saying, hey, welcome, new person, Mindless Focus. Welcome to one of the Geek Dad Life live streams where we get to hang out and geek out about stuff. So excited and welcoming you to here today. Let's see. All right. So if we're starting merch, let me share my screen real quick. I guess the biggest of the merch news is more Plasma series toys unveiled today. The first of which are these kind of reissues, if you will, of the core 4 Ghostbusters that they released last year for the Plasma series. But this time they glow in the dark.
So these are repaints.
Kind of, yeah, essentially. But they do have, glow in the dark.
That's pretty cool.
And the streams, instead of it being the blue kind of a rubbery attachment, is a glow in the dark green. And they have all 4 of them. They aren't released as a 4 set, which I was kind of bummed about, to be completely honest. And they're a bit more expensive than the normal retail release. At $27 a pop, when they're about $19. People are clearancing some of these as well. So that is interesting. These are digital kind of, they're not pictures of the figures. These are like digital, I guess, scans of them or whatever. But something nice, each one does come with a stream, which, the first releases that we got last year, only Winston had the stream attachment. So you do get all 4 stream attachments. The head sculpts look a little bit different as well. So, something of note there. Again, these are kind of digital scans, or what they rendered them on the computer before they actually, send the figures to be sculpted. But if these are different head sculpts, I think that maybe adds another little level of quality here, because it's definitely different in these images that they're putting here. We'll see how it turns out once we see a physical toy. But they do look different. So different head sculpts, the ectoplasm attachments that glow in the dark, as well as the extra, I guess, glow in the dark paint slime on them. So thoughts here, Ralph, on these kind of re-releases of the Plasma series figures?
I think they look cool. I mean, they don't look like hyper realistic like a Sideshow or Hot Toys. They almost have like an animated look to them. I don't know if that's just the CG rendering, but
you're not alone.
Yeah, it's like it's somewhere between like cartoonish and realistic, and I kind of dig it, because when the problem is when you start getting toys that are trying to look realistic, if any sort of paint goes off or goes wrong or anything like that, they look way off. So I like this sort of more kind of cartoonish design.
Yeah, they do look animated in these images, but I think it's because it's the CG, or whatever they're, because these aren't actual pictures of the figures.
Yeah,
these are like.
But I kind of dig it as that. Like, they should have, like, it almost looks like something that you see in a video game, like a really cool video game.
Yeah, maybe Ghostbusters the video game, which is what my shirt is today.
Yeah, mine is Godzilla and Stay Puft.
Yeah,
walking off into the destruction, holding hands.
A Ghostbusters video game shirt at Comic-Con in 2008. Before so this has fall of 2008. Before it got delayed like a year or whatever. So, but that Comic-Con was tragic because it was the first time they were going to do a Ghostbusters panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Dan Aykroyd was going to be there, and since the game got pushed back or whatever, canceled, I think because the company went under or something, the first company, they canceled the panel, and so did not get to see. I think Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd were going to be at the Ghostbusters the video game panel that year. You were there that year? Because I was.
Yeah, I would have been there.
Shape. I was so bent out of shape in 2008. But I got this cool shirt.
Cool.
But yeah, I could be. So the Plasma series has been released so far. The first ones were very, I thought, realistic. So my assumption is, even though they look animated in these pictures, I think they'll probably be fairly photorealistic once we have them in hand. For better or worse. For better or worse.
Yeah, it all depends on like the paint and stuff.
So I'm kind of disappointed in the price, unless the new head sculpts really knock it out of the park. And I'm kind of disappointed they didn't have like maybe a buy all 4, just make it a 4-pack to maybe bring down the price a little bit. But I did not pre-order them from Hasbro Pulse. I pre-ordered them from Big Bad Toy Store because they have a 4-pack of the figures. And it's about the same price, so it's not like you're getting anything like that. But to me, it's just easier to get all 4 at once and not have to stress about it. So, I think so it is not a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Any of the toy dealers seem to be doing pre-orders for it. And I went with the Big Bad Toy Store approach because I have been a Hasbro Pulse member and they always ship their stuff out last. So I'm going Big Bad, and we'll see if they get here a little bit quicker. All right. So yeah, again, I like something. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Maybe the head sculpts are exactly the same once they actually make the toy. Hard to say. And then, yes, the date of the release is January 2022. So it is very early on in these designs. So we'll see how that turns out. BMM84 says, they say it's January 1st, 2022. Do you think it will come earlier for maybe before Christmas shopping, or is Hasbro pretty good on their ETAs? I would say, if anything, it might go later than January 2022. The street date on the first releases of Plasma series, I believe, was April 28th, 2020. And while some did hit around there, it took a few weeks, if not a month or so, for them really to kind of become easily available. And I know the Hasbro Pulse pre-orders, and I pre-ordered Venkman, I think, off of Hasbro Pulse, came like 2 months after people started getting them. So
wow.
I would be shocked if they arrived earlier than January 2022, but who knows?
Right.
Did they re-release the Lewis Terror Dog figure? I don't think so. I just think they still have it here because I think it still says sold out, but let's click on it just to be sure. Yeah, sold out. I have the Totally Terrible Night. To be honest, it's not worth $50 in my opinion, but that's just my opinion because the Terror Dog is still I think it's still Vin's Clortho, and it's not Zool because Zool had shorter horns, and the Build-A-Figure for the Wave 1 of Plasma series was Vin's Clortho as well. So you just have 2 Vin's Clorthos and not a Vin's and a Zool, which is kind of a bummer.
Right.
If anything, they should have thrown in a Zool head, so that way you could have just popped the Zool head on one of them and then had Vin's Clortho and Zool.
Yeah.
I'm getting so nerdy with this stuff right now. Did they remake the real Ghostbusters from the cartoon from '86? No, nobody has done. Aside from Diamond Select did do the real Ghostbusters as their last series of figures when they had the license. This is the slammer from that. But a major retail release has not been done for real Ghostbusters, at least updated for Modern Articulation. Clean shirt. Yeah, this is my second one. I actually had one that I wore all the time. This is one of the ones that I saved for special occasions. I got 2. Anyways, moving on. I think they're nice, but Jim Bear 62. Well, but I think they're nice, but I do think they're expensive. Right about I'm down with the Plasma series, but torn if I want to get the repaints or the OG decisions. I will say, at least for the repaints, or the OG versions, they're still pretty easily available at retail, and Walmart clearanced them a while back. So depending if they need to kind of clear out space on their shelves, you might be able to find the first releases for cheaper than retail, which is $19.99. So, if you kind of are patient and wait for your chance, you might be able to find the first releases from last year for cheaper than the retail price. And you can maybe get both, because why not both? That's what I always go with there. All Music Fan, pretty cool reveals, but I hope there are more with more characters from movie 1 and 2. I agree. It's a neat reuse of the molds here, but Matty Collector kind of went into the same problem. Mattel had kind of a similar problem where they did the 4 Ghostbusters and they kind of kept re-releasing them. I would really loved to have seen maybe some of the characters from the new movie being put to the Plasma series, because the Q&A on Twitter Day had me excited for the new characters in the show and the movie. So that would have been fun. Or again, Ghostbusters 2 or some other characters. There's just so much stuff to be done there, and I don't want the same problems that the Mattel line had to kind of befall on the Hasbro line here.
How about a Walter Peck
Yeah.
a marshmallow variant.
Yeah. And the Maddie line did Walter Peck, but they a marshmallow version.
Yeah.
Um,
That would be great. You could put a little dollop on his head.
Josh said, I was going to buy this line, but I'm a sucker for glow-in-the-dark toys. Yeah, again, glow-in-the-dark always makes things better.
Yeah.
The end.
What was the He-Man toy you did that had glow-in-the-dark, where it just looked amazing? Yeah.
Oh, man. The glow-in-the-dark on that one is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the other plasma series. Dave asked a question here. When are the Ghostbusters Afterlife toys going to come out? They were supposed to come out with the plasma series and the Kenner Classics figures that got released last year, April of 2020. And so much so that some did actually hit shelves or go to some toy retailers. I got my hands on the 84 characters in the Afterlife packaging and did a video on it over a year ago. So there's, warehouses somewhere with all of those figures waiting to be released. And the latest that I've heard with the movie coming out November 11th, they might start hitting retail shelves in September, October to kind of coincide with trying to promote the new Ghostbusters Afterlife film. But they've been done, packaged, signed, sealed, delivered for over a year.
Yeah.
So we'll see on that one. All right. The next things that they announced were the mini puffs. So it is a mini puff 3-pack. And they are
6 heads?
What's that?
Is it 6 heads?
Yes, you get 6 heads total. And they are 3.5 inches tall, which I guess that could be scale to the movie, which is kind of cool. They look like highly articulated. And they're 3 to a pack. And they've kind of encouraged, you can buy multiple packs of these and like make your own mini puffed army, which, could be kind of cool. So, an army builder pack for, you get 3 of these at $26.99. If I could get 3 and 6 total head sculpts, I think is a pretty neat add on here. And yeah, I pre-ordered 1 set from Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know if I will pre-order more. Maybe, if I find them in the wild, I'll buy more. But, for me, really dug the little clip we got on the mini puffs. It's absolutely going for that Baby Yoda cute merchandising type thing, but I'm all for it because I think it is fun. Right. Getting, articulated, fun army builder packs like this, I think is a lot of fun. Ralph, what do you think of these Ghostbuster Plasma Series mini puffs?
I mean, I feel like you have to get at least 2 packs so you can display all 6 heads.
You're right. You're right.
But would you go beyond that? I noticed the picture where there's a bunch of them, and I keep trying to see where the face is duplicate, but I can't. Yeah, it's a little. It's a little tough, but
right there.
Yeah, I keep looking for the tongue one.
The tongue one.
There's a couple there. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, in the footage we saw, they look like they were I don't know, like a 2-inch size or something. And so these are like the size of a
3
mask.
3 and 3, well, not 3 3/4, a little bit shorter than a Star Wars figure. I think
like one of these guys, like a mask guy.
Mask is 2.5, if I remember.
So somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
So if it's the scale with the other figures, then we're going to see them get pretty big. That'll be interesting.
I don't know. I have to see once it's in hand, but I feel like 3.5 inches is the right size for them. That would make them kind of scale to the movie. Because like when he's poking his finger, it seems like it's about that big, which is about
but inches. Well, yeah, that's 1/1 scale to the movie. But what I'm saying is, with your action figures,
these don't scale to the figures at all. I think these are like 1/1 scale, which I think is even cooler in my opinion.
Yeah,
because scale to a 6-inch figure, they have to be like little itty bitty things.
I mean, and then for like cosplay purposes, if these are 1/1, you could have them crawling all over your pack. You can have like an army of them like crawling on your shoulders and stuff. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's where I really dig this scale here, the 3.5 inches. And you know what? I think you're right, Ralph. I was wrong to only get 1 pack because you're right. I think you need at least 6 so you can kind of display all of the different head sculpts
right.
with them. And I feel like my youngest son, Alex, who loves Stay Puft, is going to want a few of these as well. So I feel like I'm definitely going to be buying a few of these ones that I pre-ordered. Gary says these variant heads are the best. I can't disagree with you. When will the mini Puff figure come out? It is a month later than the glow-in-the-dark Heroes. It's at February 1st, 2022. And again, I would say that's the earliest we might see these. It may take a few months for these to become kind of more easily available.
Right.
Is Egon going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie? I doubt it, as Harold Ramis passed away a few years back, and it seems very much like, even in the trailer, they're talking about the grandpa dying and leaving him this farm. And, even in the trailer, you see the Spangler uniforms. It's almost a guarantee he is passed. But it is a movie about ghosts, so...
Yeah, I could see it having photographs.
Mm-hmm.
Photographs around the house. What would your thoughts be on a digital Egon?
Yeah,
or some sort of something like a ghost.
Yeah.
Or
it's tough. Like in Rogue One, where you had Tarkin. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Some people, I guess, were indifferent. I liked that he was there because, it gave more Tarkin, this character that we only got in A New Hope. And that was really cool. The Carrie Fisher, Leia, just for a second, but didn't look as good.
And it felt a little weird.
And, in the discussion today on the Twitter Spaces IGN interview, it seemed like they were going very heavy on the practical effects. And I don't know, would it look really out of place with a digital Harold Ramis ghost?
Right.
Like, how do you think you could pull off a Harold Ramis?
So this is what you do.
How do you pull
this is what you do. So we look at the ghosts in Ghostbusters like the Scoleri brothers and Slimer, and they don't look like human. Like, what was Slimer a ghost of? You might know more than me.
It was off of Jim Belushi.
But so what I'm saying is, the ghosts in Ghostbusters rarely look like humans. So, can you make a puppet Egon?
Mm-hmm.
Make it kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
Make it look like a Ghostbuster ghost, but have it be like Egon's form.
Okay, yeah. So in the same way that Slimer was an homage to Jim Belushi,
right?
Another ghost that's an homage to either Harold Ramis, or do you think directly Egon Spengler?
I don't know, because see, for me, within the story, what was Slimer when Slimer was alive? Was it just a person that looked like John Belushi?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, if it is, how do you take that Egon and turn him into his version of Slimer? Like, do something like that. Like, if you could do some sort of ghost instead of being round like Jim Belushi or John Belushi and Slimer, you can make it tall and thin with glasses. Like, so it could be like an Egon ghost, but I don't know if you'd want to have him talk. There's not really a lot of ghosts that talk. They laugh.
Yeah.
They cackle, they scream. But I feel like make a puppet. Make a puppet. It could even look like the animated series.
Yeah, I think somebody said that here.
Yeah, it could look like the real Ghostbusters.
Tyrion said, make Egon's ghost based off of the RGB model.
Yeah. Just the hair and the glasses, and I mean, that would be cool. I feel like that would be something fun to put in. Whether he speaks or not is one thing, but I feel like if they're setting this up to be like Egon's farm, like there has to be some message from beyond. I feel like it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think BMM84 puts a good point here. I think they have too much respect for Harold to do that. I think they do. Like, very clearly, Ivan and Jason Reitman are doing this with the utmost respect for the mythology, the original films, everything. Like, everything that we've seen, everything I've heard them talk about has the utmost respect for the original films, and they've had relationships, especially Ivan Reitman and Harold Ramis, beyond just Ghostbusters. Obviously have a really strong connection and relationship to each other, and I don't think they would do anything that would be cringy or like, oh, this is disrespectful to Harold Ramis. So
and I'm sure they would go to his family first too, and see what.
Yeah,
because if they were to say something like, "Oh, Harold would love to be a puppet ghost in a Ghostbusters movie," then maybe they explore that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, would you lose it? Yeah.
Ooh, Jim Bear 62 has a good idea here. They could get Maurice LaMarche to do Egon's ghost voice, as he did the voice of Egon in both Real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters.
That'd be great.
Because his whole voice was an impression of Harold Ramis's voice.
Right. And I feel like it would do two things. A, it would sort of bring in the Real Ghostbusters into the movie canon, but then also like for people who are like, I can't believe they did that to Harold Ramis. I can't believe they're, anyone that would be mad that they were using Harold Ramis's likeness could just that would kind of squash that, because it's not. It's the Real Ghostbusters Egon. So you could kind of have it both ways, doing it that way, where you still get Egon, but you're not really using Harold Ramis's Egon.
Yeah.
So I like that idea.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Plus, I mean, come on, a puppet animated Real Ghostbusters Egon. I mean, you would need that toy.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. I mean, I think when we were first talking about it a year ago on this channel, there was, I think you brought it up, how it would be great if whatever cross rip is happening in this town, it opens up into the Ghostbusters multiverse, right? Where we see the Real Ghostbusters universe, we see the Answer the Call universe, the 2016 Answer the Call universe, and Evolution. You're right.
But like those guys as Ghostbusters, like how great would it be? Those guys, like just one shot of those four as Ghostbusters. I'm sure Julianne Moore would do it.
I think the most likely way they would have Egon's ghost is this one that Frobafett shared. I'm sure we'll see Egon as a ghost, probably at the end of the movie, probably a silent cameo, Egon ghost heading into the light. Something very like respectful to Harold, something like that, I think would be the most likely way they'd go about it. And I think Roba's on the money there.
If anything, you're going to see at least a photo of him in the house. Like they're not going to not have something Harold Ramis in there. There's no way. There's no way.
I agree. Gary excited for the idea of Maurice LaMarche. Needs to say, I am on board to bring Maurice into the role. But yeah, a lot of discussions here about what else they would like to see, because I think there is a bit of a disappointment that there isn't really new figures here. And I'm trying to see where, pull it back in here.
I'm surprised they didn't save the footage, the Marshmallow Minis footage for today.
I honestly think they dropped the Minis footage because the merchandise was going to come out.
Okay.
Like the cereal that's already hit, and some of the Hallmark ornaments that we're going to show in a minute was going to hit, so they wanted to get ahead of that being released and them being able to show the clip to give context of the mini puffs, even though it was kind of leaked before that. Like there was images of it on those Ghostbusters Afterlife toys that I was able to get last year. But just kind of officially unveiling the mini puffs to get ahead of some of the merchandise that was going to hit. Unlike, Mandalorian, that somehow miraculously kept it under wraps until their first episode.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
it took a year for the merch to come out, so there is a trade-off there. But they could have pulled it off, I think, with the original release date, because we had no idea about the mini puffs really until this year when more of the stuff was coming out. So I think they could have pulled a similar type of reveal off that Mandalorian did. Raz Reynolds, I think the glow in dark Ghostbusters are pretty underwhelming. They need more ghosts in the line. So around that, there's been a few comments here about, this is nice, but we want to see some other things, and I'm with them. I'd love to see them do more. I would love to see them do more license. Some good recommendations here. Fish Tropic. We need a Statue of Liberty.
To scale.
Maybe the head at least, and you can put them in the head with the little windows and stuff. I've seen a lot of people, I think even including Yes Have Some podcast, picking up the Liberty head or play set for the X-Men toy line, the 9th X-Men one from Toy Biz, which does do a pretty good stand in there. And then also need the zombie taxi man with the New York car. That would be awesome.
I'll probably bring that up later.
Let's see what else here. He-Man needs to happen. Reference it. It's funny how they're chanting He-Man, even though He-Man was kind of not really popular in 1989 when the film was
right.
Different universe. It goes to when Slimer is being in the bus driver. The bus driving Slimer. We've never gotten a bus driving Slimer.
Oh, really? That seems like it should be. How hard would that be?
Fish Tropic asks, do you think they will release Ghostbusters Online, HBO, or Prime Video? No, because Sony is one of the few studios that does not have a streaming service. And as far as what's been said, November 11th, it's a movie, a movie theater release. And while they have inked this deal with Disney Plus to stream Sony movies on Disney Plus, I believe that's like a year or two out, like after the normal video rental period or whatever that they would get it. So I don't think there's a parallel streaming release for Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's going to be a movie release in November as it stands of right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Last bit of merch. Oh, it's reloading now. The Ghostbusters Afterlife mini puff marshmallows ornament. I mean, we're gonna get everything. We'll get mini puff marshmallow socks, mini puff t-shirts, pillow covers. But
what's he eating?
I don't know.
It's the straw.
Oh, the straw. Okay, there you go. Eating hot.
And they're like melting. They're melting in like a hot cocoa. I like it.
It's fun. I think I've gotten every Ghostbusters Hallmark ornament so far. So absolutely gonna get that one. This Super Nintendo is pretty dope too.
Yeah, it plays sounds too. I haven't seen that Boba Fett.
Oh, you haven't seen the Mando?
No, the book. No. Okay, so Stevie, my wife, has is part of the Hallmark Ornament Club thing.
Yep.
And so every year I go through the catalog and there's just so much stuff. And this year I decided not to because she's obviously going to get me stuff.
Sure.
And I don't want to be spoiled. But that Boba Fett's cool. I never realized that the arms are Rancors.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
So
that's Jabba didn't have a throne, right? This was for Tuna, so
yeah.
It's a
Moochie. It's got Moochie on the arms. I won't get into it. I promise I won't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll save it for a future Screen Geeks. But yeah, so I love the Hallmark ornaments. It's kind of the point now where I don't really have room on our Christmas tree for any more nerd or geek ornaments. But I will make room for these guys. In terms of Ghostbuster ones, I have the first Ecto 1 release, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man release, and then these will be the next Ghostbusters ornament.
Last year I got one of those mini trees. They're like that big, and I have a lot of the mini ornaments. I have a Death Star tree topper, and then I have the little tiny like Green Lantern and little tiny Star Wars guys and X-Wings and stuff. I don't know if they have any mini ornaments for Ghostbusters, but that's what you should do, is get a separate tree just for Ghostbusters.
Last year we did 2 trees. We did our normal fake tree, which is where all our ornaments go on, and we kind of let the kids decorate it, so they put the ornaments everywhere. So it's kind of a hot mess, but it's fun, you know. It's and then Colleen got a real tree, which was her fancy Christmas tree. So it was just like a uniform kind of
bows the same color.
Yeah, you know, and she had like fancy balls and stuff to put on it. So that was the second tree. But I really want like another big tree so that we can put like a geek tree, just to have geek ornaments on the geek tree. But that means it's like an extra tree to trim. And honestly, as much as I love having the Christmas tree in the house, I hate putting it all up. It's a lot.
Me too. I don't like it.
And I also have to do all the lights on the roof and everything. And so I'm complaining for no good reason. But
you need like a tree closet, like in the garage, where you can just lift it up completely, like trim, like staple the things on there so they don't fall off. Lift it up and stick it in the corner of the garage, close the door,
and then just take it right out and just boop, it's already ready to go.
Covered in dust. So good.
Will they burn my tree down? No, not at all. A geek tree. That's what I'm saying. I think I need a geek tree. That's I gotta convince my life of that. Josh says, you joke, but I have a tree closet. But do you literally take your fully decorated tree and then just put it in the closet, and then you just take it out Christmas time and put it out again? Fish dropper, #geek tree.
You could always do like a garland sort of thing that drapes around the house, and then put all the geek stuff on there.
Yeah, I don't like that. I gotta convince Colleen to let me do a geek tree. It's that.
Yeah, just cancel Christmas. It'd be so much easier.
All Music Fan 8, you're a regular Griswold, Jay. Yeah. I can't wait till my son is old enough to get on the roof with me to put up the Christmas lights. That's the rite of passage for any young lad. There was talking about Bill Murray's as a ghost in Ghostbusters Afterlife. That was earlier on for the third movie. He wanted to be dead and be in it, but I believe all the living cast members are going to be in this film as their characters, unlike Ghostbusters Answer the Call from 2016, where they all played cameos as other characters, where Bill Murray did get to be killed in that #spoiler alert. And he played some weird critic of it was really weird. I did not like. You know what? I am one to say I enjoy, and I've said it before. I actually enjoyed the 2016 Ghostbusters. I thought it was funny. I laughed. I enjoyed the movie. If I had critiques, it would be one. I thought it was a mistake to not have be it in the same universe, and to continue on be a Chicago Ghostbuster team or something like that, but still have the New York Ghostbusters. Right. The other thing I didn't like was the cameos. I thought the cameos were kind of too hokey for me.
Right.
Let's see. No, it's a tinsel tree that doesn't come apart, but I decorate every year with blacklight ornaments.
That's pretty cool.
Swole Nick, I was disappointed with the Hasbro reveals. I think it was two sides of the coin. I think the mini puffs were fun. And I do like the glow in the dark feature, but I can see how it can be disappointing because it's essentially re-releasing figures they've already done with different paint.
I feel like it's also tough because it might be just a little bit too early with the timing of when the movie's being released.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
They have a bunch of stuff to reveal. They just can't yet.
Yeah. But if you're going to, it's only, 8 months away? I don't know how many months away, but like, why wasn't there a trailer day? We could have got another trailer.
Yeah.
We could have gotten a trailer today. Gary says, I'm with you, Jay. 2006 wasn't as bad as they say. Kevin was the best. Agreed. Chris Hemsworth was hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
Oak City Gamers, Woot, I had no issue with Last Ghostbusters except they shot the logo Ghost in the crotch. Monkey Jeeves, we need a real Ghostbusters animated movie. I'd be down for that. I tell people all the time that the real Ghostbusters animated series and then also the continuation of that story with Extreme Ghostbusters is a really great expansive universe for Ghostbusters that took it to places that the movie, couldn't even imagine of doing. I think it did a really good job. Big ups to the people that ran that show, especially J. Michael Straczynski, that just really took it seriously, even though it was a kid's show, but took it seriously and did some really great stuff and it really expanded the Ghostbusters universe to its fullest extent that it's ever been done for the property. All right. Trek Guy 66. I was hoping for another Plasma Series prop replica reveal. I agree. We got the Plasma one. I have it right over there. Which is a really good prop for $100. Would have been nice to have maybe the trap or something like that. I don't know. Something would have been cool. Or give us a pack. A pack would be awesome. I think yes. What it says, I was hoping for a Hasbro Plasma Series Proton pack. Agreed. Would love a Proton pack to go with the wand.
Or an NES controller. Or the NES Advantage.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Like a one that like lights up and beeps.
Agreed.
With the remote control.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
BMM 84 RGB is like Star Wars Clone Wars animation for story. Yeah, absolutely. The story, some of the stories on there are so good, and some of the ghosts like Boogeyman is amazing. Sam Hain, Sandman, or Sam Hain, Sandman. Or the man who never was it the man who never got home or went home? That was a great just one episode story. Like there's just so many of those in the animated series or real Ghostbusters. All right. Now let's move on to some of the reveals that we got from the IGN Twitter Spaces interview, which mentioned it before. I was a little bit bummed it was audio only. I would have loved for us to be able to see the actors and stuff like that interact with each other because it seemed like they were having fun. Finn Wolfhard, Carrie Coons, a lot of the cast seemed to really have really good rapport with each other, which I think is a good sign for how the movie's going to turn out when, the cast and the directors and producers could have a really good banter and rapport with each other. I thought that was a really good sign for, this movie was a fun movie for them to make. And usually in those type of environments, it turns out to be a pretty good finished product. Ralph, were you able to hear any of that today?
I didn't.
I thought it was, nothing really nothing of great news came out of that. Except for, and I think it was one of the European trailers, the Ecto goggles could do like a Polaroid snapshot. We got a little bit more details, like I believe it was Logan is going to kind of act as the Ray Stantz, the one that's really passionate about ghost busting.
Is there a ghost in that trap?
I would probably, the way he's prying it open, who knows? And then we got a little time with the actress that plays Celeste, or Celeste O'Connor is the actress. I can't remember who she's playing, the name of the character she's playing. But she's going to be kind of paired up with Finn Wolfhard, which I thought was great. And then we had this new image of the Ecto One, not that much revealing there, but and nothing really added to how they made it. They bought a few shells and really made it able to go as fast as what was seen in the original movie. That iconic scene while cleaning up the town is playing in the first movie, and the car speeds out of the firehouse. It couldn't actually go that fast, so they actually sped up the film footage to make it look like it was going that fast. And Jason kind of joked with Ivan that he made fun of him, that they kind of did a Charlie Chaplin speed up of the car because it couldn't do it in real life. So, the engine, everything they did for this Afterlife Ecto One, it can go that fast. It can do all of the things that, they kind of made up in the first movie. So I think that's pretty cool. And then another image was the home, the farmhouse, where you had the Ecto one in front. And then something that I don't think I noticed in the original trailer was all of the antennas on top of the farmhouse, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Which ties into the first Ghostbusters, where they say imagine the building is one antenna. So he's clearly trying to reach out to something.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
that's cool.
And there's something, in the trailer, we saw the Shandor Mining Company. And in the Google Street View images, we had, again, kind of the same sign for the Shandor Mining Company and the Ecto 1 being there. So clearly they're going to investigate that. And then kind of hanging over it, the ectoplasm energy coming out of it. And when Ray was talking about Dana's apartment building, how the structure, the metallurgy, everything they used to build it was to be a superconductive antenna to open up the world, to bring Gozer into our world, into our universe. And so clearly the Shandor Mining Company, wherever this is, whatever ore they're pulling out of the earth, was used to make the structure of Dana's apartment that opened up the portal that brought Gozer. And clearly what's happening in this town is whatever ore is in there is naturally doing the same stuff that Dana's apartment building did. And Egon building this farmhouse here clearly was probably doing, continued research on what Shandor was up to, Evo Shandor.
Keeping tabs on if he finds any anomalies or anything, something going on in the town. I like that this house looks like a haunted house.
Yes.
Which is kind of fun for Ghostbusters, because we never, not in the movies at least, we don't really see haunted houses.
Yeah.
So I like that the fact that Egon's house looks like a haunted house, but it's probably not. Or Slimer lives there.
Yeah, or Slimer's still in there,
Yeah.
And something that I think the video game did really cool was it tied Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2 all to Evo Shandor, and him being the big bad of it all, like this, the way the slime was able to enter into the city, and of course Gozer coming into New York City was all kind of his doing. And I like that the Afterlife, what we've seen so far in the images in the trailer, they very much seem to be following that same path that Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd did in Ghostbusters, the video game, which Dan has said is very much, the third movie. And I do think it acts pretty well as a third movie with the original cast, the last one that has all four of them alive and kicking Ghost butt. And now Ghostbusters Afterlife, 30 some odd years later, seems to be continuing, whatever Shandor was up to, that led to the, cross rip event in New York in 84 and 89, which would be really cool. Going to the chat. Yes, November 11th is the release date, 11/11/21. Throwback Turtle says, dang, October would be better. Thanks. Well, yeah. Surprised they didn't go October, but I'm sure, they're just rolling the dice that hopefully more people are vaccinated and things are very much back to normal by that point. And it's kind of a Christmas movie, a holiday movie versus a Halloween movie, which if it's a kind of Thanksgiving Christmas movie, it probably has more legs and could, generate more revenue than if it was a Halloween movie, which, seems to kind of tail off into the Thanksgiving Christmas movie season. I don't know if that's the case, but that would be my guess. Lolo Pap, is Ghostbusters the video game canon to Afterlife? I think it is. I think it is because the Ghostbusters the video game tied in Shandor into the second movie very much so, and of course the first movie. And this movie, you see the Shandor Mining Company, so clearly Shandor mined whatever ore he used to build the structure of Dana's apartment building. So I think it very much does follow those. That's just my opinion. Don't know if that'll be the case, but it definitely feels like, maybe not directly, but they're pulling a lot of the same threads that we saw in the Ghostbusters video game. What's your thoughts, Ralph?
I haven't played the video game, but it's the way I feel like the way Jason Reitman follows Ghostbusters and knows about Ghostbusters. I can see him taking everything into account.
Yeah,
taking everything out, and that includes 2016. I could see him honoring that movie, which I think would be a good thing, especially for people involved with that movie who maybe thought that they got sort of shortchanged, you know. And I'm hoping there's some sort of cross riff. I'm hoping there's,
oh, there has to be.
That comes in.
Well, it seems like there's going to be, right? Because there's
right.
these earthquakes or tremors. The opening scene where they're kind of hanging above the mine shaft, and the ectoplasmic energy kind of comes out of the mine shaft, and we see the terror dog foot land on the car that Paul Rudd character is in, and we see the mini puffs. Clearly, the mini puffs coming about are some of the energy or whatever opening up to the Gozer portal. There is some type of like echo of the past. Energize these Stay Puft Marshmallows for Gozer. So I think very much so it's tied into that. Right.
And I wouldn't put it past him to put in an evolution nod. But he might not. But I mean, I feel like he would. Like the way he talks about his love for Ghostbusters, I feel like I don't think it's going to happen, but I think he would do it. I don't know how, but we'll see.
Throwback says, like, Gremlins Christmas scary funny movie. I don't know if it's set Christmas time. It doesn't look like it because it looks summertime. The original release date was supposed to be summer of 2020, a year ago. So I think it's going to play as a holiday movie in the sense that it's out during the holidays, which is a certain section of time that movies come out and they make a lot of money. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars recently, stuff like that. But I don't necessarily think it'll be like Gremlins, which I think arguably is a Christmas movie, set during Christmas time. Or even, Ghostbusters 2 is kind of a Christmas New Year's movie. I think more New Year's than Christmas. Where do you side on the Ghostbusters 2? Do you think it's a Christmas movie or a New Year's movie?
I tend to call it a New Year's movie. That's when the climax takes place. And I mean, I feel like since there's not really a whole lot of New Year's movies out there, that it elevates it. So you can say that Ghostbusters 2 is the greatest New Year's movie ever. Maybe a close second would be Poseidon Adventure. And then after that, what? I don't know. So putting Ghostbusters 2 on a pedestal is always a good thing. so sure.
Yeah, I would say Ghostbusters 2 is a New Year's movie, right? To me, it's like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Thanksgiving. There's a bajillion Christmas movies. I love them all. And then I like Ghostbusters 2 as a New Year's movie because there's not a lot of New Year's movies, right? That I can think of.
And they don't really talk about Christmas that much, but the whole thing where everybody's outside the museum.
Yeah.
With their New Year's hats and stuff, and they're all bundled up and singing. It definitely has the vibe of New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Harry Met Sally is another good New Year's movie. Agreed. GB2 had the Santa hats. Yes, they did. Again, there was that scene with the Santa hats, so it kind of went through the holiday season. But the whole New Year's Eve thing was very integral to the story. So I would lean more that it's a New Year's movie if I had to peg between the two. Yes. So it was not March 2020. It was I think March 2021 or one of the adjusted times. But originally, I think it was July 2020 was the original release date. But honestly, I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it was that. But honestly, time has molded into a freaking mashed potato. I don't know what time is anymore after the pandemic. But anyway. Throwback Turtle says Home Alone works as a Thanksgiving and Christmas movie. See, I always think of it as a Christmas movie, but
yeah.
Mostly set at Christmas, but always plays on TV at Thanksgiving. There you go. You know, for a long time, Hook would always play during Thanksgiving. So Hook, for me, always has a bit of a Thanksgiving flair.
And they also have the Lost Boys have the Great Feast.
Exactly. So they would
Which
always
is the best track on the album.
Yeah, and the iconic, you know, imaginary feast scene.
Yeah.
So I classify Hook as a Thanksgiving movie. For me, I freaking love Hook. So yeah, I think that's everything there. Yeah, Logan, Celeste. So yeah, overall, I thought it was nice to hear from them. Would have loved if it was a video. Would have loved if the interviewer would have been maybe more of a Ghostbusters fan. I can't remember his name, but it was very much a, you know, staffer at IGN that had kind of cue cards that was reading from, and some of the questions were a little hokey. You know, I think, you know, you and I are kind of veterans of convention panels.
Right.
And the difference between a panel moderator that actually is a fan of something and knows the characters and the details and everything really well versus somebody that was asked to do this thing and to moderate it, but is not really that big of a fan of, is huge for how the quality of the panel turns out.
Right.
You agree?
I've never once used cue cards at a Jay and Jack panel. I know from experience, but yeah, it does. You do have those panels where like you just get someone from like TV Guide showing up, as opposed to like a panel where like a Patton Oswalt's doing it or something.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, this is like a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So those are always more fun because they can, instead of just reading the next card, can go off of what the panel is saying and roll that into information that they know about the whatever property they're talking about. So
yeah, so this one felt like somebody that's not a huge fan. I mean, everybody knows Ghostbusters, so it wasn't like didn't know that, but it just definitely felt very kind of hokey, you know, like an Entertainment Tonight cast interview kind of show, which is not very exciting. But
it's
go ahead.
It's more of an interview. It's less of a conversation.
But I think what made the live Twitter Spaces convo fun was, again, how all of the cast interacted with Jason and Ivan, and how much fun they all seemed to have, how comfortable they were with each other. I thought that was really cool. I had some technical difficulties, and I believe the actor that plays Logan, or Logan Kim is the actor. He had trouble getting on, so then I think McKenna Grace, who plays Phoebe, like called him on like FaceTime and FaceTimed him in, and you know, they just seemed very comfortable with each other, which to me, I said it earlier, I think is a good sign for the chemistry that they might have on screen. So that had me pretty excited, but nothing was too crazy revealed. And then they ended the show, or the panel, with kind of trying to quiz each other, basically using quotes for Ghostbusters, and all of the quotes were like the most stereotypical Ghostbuster quotes you could pick from.
Right,
and
that's a bit tweaky.
Oh yeah, like, you know, somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Who said that line? Winston. And Ghostbusters 2, I think the one little bit of tidbit was in the Ghostbusters 2 quotes, somebody asked, I think it was Ivan Reitman, sucking the guts guys were the Ghostbusters, to which he revealed that was a Bill Murray quip, where, you know, they're putting all the equipment and he was like, sucking the guts guys were the Ghostbusters, and that was something they did end up using in the movie. But here Lopez says the names are Lucky and Podcast. I thought it was Lucky and Phoebe. I don't know. Podcast would be a name. That's an interesting name.
Autocorrect.
Yeah, maybe. I thought we were going to give us some small hints or details, but nothing. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed earlier on. He was like, I know we can't give any spoilers. Like, well, come on. We've been waiting like years for this thing. Give us something. Give us a clip. And so I think that's what made the fact that it was audio even more disappointing. So I was thinking it would be like a video Zoom panel where they could play clips and stuff like that, like a convention panel would do. And we didn't have that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Gary said, I missed the beginning of the show. I'm sorry for making a repeat, but was there any word from Coca-Cola Refreshments about Ecto Cooler? I have not seen anything official from Coca-Cola about that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Logan Kim is podcast. Okay. Interesting name. Any actors from Stranger Things gonna be in it? Yeah, Finn Wolfhard's gonna be in it. Oh, PD Dubs is here. Heyo. Justin says there was a new Batman movie for October 31st, 2022. 2022. Well, I guess it doesn't affect that too much. Yeah, because remember last year, 2019. They had some of these. It turned out to, I guess, to be fake, but they had these images of High C Ecto Cooler.
Right, like different flavors.
Yeah, with Slimer on the cans, which 2016 we got Ecto Cooler back. One of the greatest things to come out of that movie coming back was that we got Ecto Cooler back. I have cases of it in my pantry that probably isn't edible anymore or drinkable anymore, but still I have it just in case. And listen, if Dinosaur Dracula can drink and eat stuff from 40 years ago, I think
no, don't do it.
But so I would have loved if Ecto Cooler could have made a comeback this go round. So I hope it does come back in some way, some form or fashion. Scotty, don't ever show little kids Gremlins because the speech Phoebe Cates does about her chimney. Colleen had never seen Gremlins, so we watched it this Christmas time. It's one of the ones that I try to watch, like Christmas season, the holiday season. Like I go through all my favorite Christmas films, and Gremlins is one of them. And so I was watching it, and Colleen was something. I was like, "You need to see this," and she for the Phoebe Cates speech, and she was like, "What? That's so dark."
Oh my god! And then her speech in the second movie, where it's even like worse. It's hilarious.
It's so Gremlins 2 is so low key one of the best sequels of all time.
Right? They're just like, screw it. Yeah,
exactly. They're just like just lean into it. And I love Gremlins 2. I saw Gremlins 25. Me too. I remember. I think I rented it, the tape, and watched it. But I remember even as a little kid, I was like, God, that's really dark, Phoebe. That's so dark, Batman. Anyway, is Natalie Imbruglia a Ghostbusters fan? I'd have to assume she is. Centreves Gaming. The rest of my Ecto are on it as a display piece. There you go. I think. I had an Ecto Cooler back here as a display at some point, but I probably switched it out. But yeah, again, I have packages of Ecto Cooler around the house. I'm in Canada. I haven't had an Ecto Cooler since I was a kid. I'm sorry if I try one for you, Jay. I'll be the guinea pig. Hey, listen, happy to. If you didn't get to experience it in 2016, 84, I am happy to give you one of my Ecto Coolers. So that you can see if you'll die or not.
Yeah, sign a waiver first.
And yeah, but this year we're getting, for the first time ever, Stay Puffed marshmallows.
That's pretty cool.
I've not gotten them yet, but you best believe I will be getting them in some form or fashion. And we got the Ghostbusters cereal, which I did do a review of on this channel. You can check it out. It's very much just a kind of a repackaging of any of the Halloween cereals. But it did have a similar flavor profile to the original Ralston Ghostbusters cereal, for what it's worth. All right. I mean, it's essentially Mandarin orange juice that's green. It's a Mandarin.
Right. McDonald's has orange lava burst again, so that's good. That's the closest you're going to get, I think, right now.
It's
Ecto Cooler.
Oh yeah. So what's in the air today? I drank Ecto Coolers. Oh man. Yes. Anybody looking for more Ghostbusters insight? Look up Yes Have Some channel. Those kids are excellent. Agreed. Yes Have Some. Great Ghostbusters. They focus on other things too, but definitely first and foremost, I think Ghostbusters is their forte.
It's a great line too.
It is. Again, yeah. So okay, so because they ended with the quotes, Ralph, I wanted to we'll close out. I think we will share some of our favorite memories, but what are some of your favorite non cliche, I guess you could say, Ghostbuster quotes that you love?
Well, I mean, There They Are is great.
There they are.
I love There They Are. I don't know if this counts or not, if this is obscure enough, but I always liked Why Am I Dripping with Goo?
Why am I dripping with goo?
It's such a good line. And then I think I do remember when I was a kid, and I don't know what you're going to deal with the language on the show. But I remember watching this movie in like third grade, like on the VCR tape in class.
Yeah.
And
in class.
Yeah. And I knew the line was coming up where they're in the mayor's office.
Oh, yes.
And he says, "Is that true?" And he says, "Yes.
It's true." This man has
yeah. So I always like that line, but that's kind of a famous line.
Yeah, that's a famous one.
But other than that, I do like Yes Have Some. Yes Have Some is something I say a lot. Like, and almost like it happens a lot. I do say it a lot.
As a kid, I love this line. It's over there, like, was it? Listen, you smell something?
Yeah.
I as a kid, I was like, I don't, like as a kid, I didn't get a lot of the jokes or the humor, like the jokes kind of went through my head. So, that one to me was just a line that tickled me as a kid.
They go up.
I feel like a good cab. What's that? Which one?
They go up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Great joke.
That's a great line. Where do these stairs go? They go up. And then I love the lightning crash. And then he's like, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, another line. Yeah. From Ghostbusters 2. You're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray?
There's another one from the crowd outside of Dana's apartment where I think it's a guy that goes, "Ghostbusters, yeah."
Yes. He has like almost red, like violet red hair.
He looks like the singer from Thompson Twins, which is what I noticed. But what's funny is it's like there's no sound when you're doing crouch shots like that. There's no sound. It all gets looped in later. And they saw that guy say something and got somebody else to say it. But I love the Ghostbusters, yeah.
Ghostbusters, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that dude. I think that's as obscure as I'm gonna get.
Renders, I'm right in the middle of something, Ray.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
You come back an hour and a half. I love you come back an hour and a half. Oh my god. In the jail. You guys getting this? Who does your taxes? I loved or one of my favorites is from Ghostbusters 2. There's two from Ghostbusters 2 that I love. When Egon says, "I had half a slinky once, then I straightened it."
Right.
And then my other one is, "That used to be one of my two favorite shows." And like, what was the other one? Bassmasters. And like Venkman's pissed, and he's like, "It's a fishing show." And he's like, "Yeah, I know it." Love that line. Venkman and Octo is fun. Yeah, it's like, help! He's going berserk. He's going completely berserk. Brandon, so be good, for goodness sake. Whoa, somebody's coming to town. And
Christmas.
what I love about that scene is I'm blanking on, is it Reginald Vell Johnson?
Yeah.
Of Family Matters and Die Hard fame. Arguably, it's a shared universe because he's playing a cop again, a New York cop. Right. It's like, Ghostbusters. The mayor wants to see you guys. The whole island's going crazy. Like, I love that cameo. It's not even a cameo because that's before Die Hard and Family Matters. But I love how it's like a reverse cameo that he was just taking this probably bit part, but the fact that he played cops in Die Hard and Family Matters, it kind of becomes cameo in retro.
He's like a globe-trotting police officer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he's what Family Matters in Chicago?
I think so, yeah.
Chicago. So New York,
Chicago or burst.
Chicago, and then LA.
Right.
Man. Let's see what some other ones here. Lewis has some awesome lines. And what I love, or this is an interaction with Lewis. So Colleen, my wife, loves the supernatural, the occult, but she's passionate about it out, and she's not really a big Ghostbusters fan. I think she plays nice because it's my favorite thing. But she loves shows like Supernatural. She listens to podcasts about the supernatural. So she knows like the real historical supernatural things. And so I think she was talking about the Taniska blast of 1909 or whatever. And I was like, that's in Ghostbusters. Because, when, he's walking Lewis, he's like, you've been a part of the greatest interdimensional cross script since the Taniska blast of 1909. Sounds great. I want to sample your brain tissue. Okay. This is a great line. Michael Gervais. As far as quotes go, I've always liked the Ghostbusters 2 line. Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this. Janos is Janos line from Ghostbusters 2. With Oscar. You're short. Your belly button is sticking out too far, and you're a terrible burden on your mother. Oh man. So yes, I so many great lines from Ghostbusters. All right, and then Ralph, let's close out on this Ghostbusters Day with some of our not necessarily maybe the most favorite, maybe your favorite Ghostbusters memory. From
this one's easy. This one's easy for me.
Okay.
I was old enough to see this movie in the theater.
Yep.
Like some people I know. I was 7. Dude, this was like right at the perfect age.
That is that is good Ghostbusters age right there.
So it was my family and family friends like trying to get to the movie theater in time in Lakewood, California. So we get there right as it's about to start. All the kids go in, sit down, and the moms who don't give a crap about Ghostbusters go and get popcorn and candy and stuff. So they kind of come in a little bit late. They take their time. So my mom is walking in, holding all the stuff, handing out the candy as she goes. And she has her popcorn, and she turns around to sit down, and the librarian ghost jumps out of the screen. She yelled so loud and spilled so much popcorn everywhere. It was hilarious because it happened literally right as she turned around to sit down. It was awesome.
Amazing. That's amazing because something like I've seen the movie a bajillion times. Right. That is a jump scare.
It's scary.
It doesn't have the effect anymore. It's kind of like how Jaws, like there's supposed to be jump scares that aren't jump scares. It doesn't hit us like it was originally felt. And the librarian is a jump scare, and you hear about test audiences that like scared the crap out of people. So that's hilarious that your mom turned around right at that moment with the librarian ghost.
Right. And it's like quiet up to that point. Like until Ray says get her, it's pretty quiet. So she's not expecting it.
That's hilarious.
Scared me when I was a kid.
Mhm.
The librarian ghost, not even the jump scare one, but the regular one just hovering in the distance, was so unnerving. I like slept on the couch or something. Like I remember sleeping on the couch that night and just thinking that the librarian was in the hallway. And then yes, the taxi cab skeleton man. That was nuts.
Yep.
I mean,
That's a pretty gruesome, the zombie
yeah.
skeleton taxi cab driver. That is a gruesome.
And it just turns and looks right down the barrel of the camera.
Yeah. Yep.
So those are the two main memories.
Yeah, so the one that holds for me as like scary, like I was legitimately scared. Nothing in one scared me, and I don't have it right here. This is a nicer. This is a clean copy of the original release VHS that I own. But the one that I got for my 3rd birthday. Oh, here it is. I still have it. I think I've shown it before. But Batman show. So I got this copy for my 3rd birthday. Here it is. As you can see, I have watched it many times. The bottom is ripped out. But this is my original copy of Ghostbusters. So again, like nothing, and surprisingly, because I was young, I was very young as a Ghostbusters fan. Nothing in one really scared me, but Ghostbusters 2, the Winston, and he turns around and sees all the head on the spikes, scared the crap out of me. I saw that one in theaters, and to almost until my teenage years, that scene scared the crap out of me. And, the Winston, oh my god, and just the faces and the music, like Psycho style. I know we hate the score of Ghostbusters 2, but that one scared me.
Right. I saw Ghostbusters 2 twice in the theater, consecutive days.
Amazing.
I like Ghostbusters 2. But yeah, not so much the score.
Yeah, I remember the first we saw it, I believe opening weekend, and we saw it at a drive-in. We saw it Santee Drive-In in Santee, California. It's a suburb of San Diego. And it's still a functioning drive-in theater. It's a really good drive-in theater if you're in Southern California or mainly San Diego County. If you're in San Diego, you probably know of the Santee Drive-In, but but yes, that one scared me. But I'm still thankful that I have this box, like where I even drew on the cover. I drew on pin trying to make the streams of the because it's a picture from the movie, so they didn't actually have the streams in it because that was an after effect. So as a kid, I was like, I want to draw the streams on here with a pin. So that's what I did as a little kid. But somebody, I believe Josh says, do the Bobby Brown Ghostbusters rap before you finish. The people demand it. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. You call the Ghostbusters in control. Try to throw in a party for a bunch of children. When all the wild sun was under the building, so they packed up the grip and put their part-time backs on the back and they split it. But what about Vigo, the master of evil? Try to bat at my boys? That's not legal.
Oh, yo.
The in control. You know it. All right. And then my favorite memory, I have many, but one I wanted to share because I actually have video footage of this memory, was for my birthday, my 3rd birthday, I believe, at Chuck E. Cheese. And I got a whole bunch of Ghostbusters stuff that year. And so that is me with my new Proton pack that I got.
I hear familiar voice.
Yeah, that is Jack, if you know of my other podcast. But so there I had the whole Ghostbusters Proton pack. And then in this box, I got I believe this is the H2O Ghost. One of the early releases of the H2O Ghosts.
Is the peg hole punched?
Trying to kill me. And then, oh yeah, here we go. And then I got the Bug Eye Ghost.
Oh yeah, it's punched.
It was off the toy pegs. And so this kid was like, you always have those kids that like always try to play with toys. I can't remember his name, but anyways, and then here is the Ecto 1.
Jeez Louise.
Hey, so he's over my present. What a jerk. But anyways, there is the Ecto 1 in box.
Tell that kid to go play with his recorder. Keep hearing someone.
That's my present.
To Jack, of course.
That's mine, isn't it?
And there's the Fright Features Winston that you see there.
Now, are any of these still in your possession?
I still have the Bug Eye. And then I believe I have the Winston, but his arm broke, as most of them did. But I have other ones now that are broken. But most of the other ones got lost to the ages. And I had a dog that chewed up a lot of these, so I saw some of the chewed up ones as well.
Is that mine?
And then again, one of my favorites, the Bad to the Bone Ghost. Freaking love the Bad to the Bone Ghost.
I like that Jack popped in as soon as the video started. He's over in the chat.
Oh, is he here?
Yeah.
Yes, he was in my daycare. Yep. So some of my favorite Ghostbuster memories, for sure, that I wanted to share out. And Todd Smith, I agree. Yes, I'm lucky to have those home videos. Crackpot Sports. If you like sports, go to his channel, subscribe. That is the person that was filming that video. My dad, who also had the fun commentary in that, so definitely give him a follow.
Is that toy mine?
Yes, exactly. Snapper was the dog that chewed up most of my Ghostbuster toys, but I still have them. Actually, I've given a few to Alex. He has I think my Slimer that got chewed up and a couple other things. But anyway,
sure they appreciate it. Here's a chewed up toy.
Monkey Jeebus, Santee is near me. Well, then I assume that you've maybe been to Santee Drive-In. If you haven't, go to Santee Drive-In. It's a great drive-in. All right. Well, I think that is a good place to close it out. Do you have anything else, Ralph, before we close out?
Nothing.
Ghostbusters Day. Did the trailer drop anywhere? I don't think the trailer dropped. No trailer today. That's a bummer.
Probably too late. Yeah, it's weird.
Bummer that we didn't get a trailer today. I will just say, Sony Pictures, I'm bummed we didn't get a trailer today. We should have done you should have released a trailer today.
Or another clip.
Or sure, do a clip.
Yeah.
Do a clip. That's a little bit of feedback, Sony Pictures. It's Ghostbusters Day. You gotta give us a clip. You gotta do something. Right. Good time tonight. Thanks. Enjoy this. Thank you, Throwback Turtle. Thank you to everyone that participated today. I brought the entire Ghostbusters cartoon box set. Nice. I have it as well. The Time Life set is amazing. Ready, get her. Watch that. Does your mom still jump if somebody says that?
She was mad. She's really mad.
Sure, anything. I think any clip would have been great. I can't believe they didn't do that. That is it for this episode of Screen Geeks. Again, thank you everyone in the chat for hanging out with us tonight on Ghostbusters Day, the 37th anniversary of when Ghostbusters was first released. It is hopefully going to be a great year for Ghostbusters fans. We have Ghostbusters Afterlife coming out in November 11th of 2021. Stay tuned to this channel. Hit the like, hit subscribe, click on that bell icon to be notified when the latest episode of Geek Dead Life drops. We're going to be covering more and more of the Ghostbusters Afterlife and toys and all that kind of fun stuff. as well as all of the other programs that we do here on the show. Ralph, thank you to you, my friend, for hanging out with me and doing Screen Geeks with me. And until next time, hasta luego.
Oh,
goodbye. Oh, yeah. Hairless pets.